Welcome to my face! I'm James St. James, and this is Transformations! Stay the home edition! I'm here today with one of my favorite people on the planet, the light of my life, the beautiful and wonderful Vander Von Odd! Hi, honey, how are you?
I'm good. All things said, I am doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I was talking to you yesterday, and we were trying to figure out when the last time I saw you was, and I think it's been 3 years.
We have with us today the greatest, fabulous, wonderful Vander Von Odd.
I have a career now that I didn't have before. That's something.
I had stolen your wig that you put on me. So tell me how you're surviving the lockdown.
You know, it helps a lot that I have a roommate. Like, it helps a lot. I think if I lived alone, it would be a lot harder, but I have a roommate and we're very close friends, so that's made it a lot easier. And I kind of had to switch my focus entirely on creating as much content as I could from home with what I had available to me. So in many ways, it's kind of become an interesting challenge to take on, to just create from home. I know a lot of the queens joke, like, we all like shit on bedroom queens, but now we're all bedroom queens.
I do sort of imagine that, knowing you though, that you're probably sitting at home like beating gowns and creating, running up dresses and coming up, cooking up new ideas and everything and new makeup looks all the time. Is that right?
It's a lot of that, yeah. And I've actually not been making as many looks as much as I've been making like short films in my apartment. And now all I have is time. So I've just been kind of telling stories on film and putting those on my Just for Fans. So doing shows and making shorts all from the comforts of my bedroom.
You know, you're famous for your enormous wing-tipped eye, and you've done one of them. And you know, you have a lot of real estate, as I do, on the head, so you can go. Yeah. I have one very basic question about winged eyeliner, and this is 7 years into Transformations, and I still have trouble doing this one thing.
Yes, tell me.
When you're doing a giant wing, and I usually close my eye as I do it, but then when you open your eye and look down, it's the crease in your eye creates like a different level.
There are tricks to doing that style of smaller, like daytime liner on hooded eyes, but it's kind of a case-by-case basis depending what your eye looks like. In my case, I just completely draw over my crease, so that's not an issue. And I basically dot out the shape with my eye open, so that I know that when I open my eyes, my lid won't hit it, you know? So I just keep my eyes open and literally dot it, and then do the line and fill it in.
Okay.
I'm using my favorite gel liner, and it's Inglot Gel Liner, number 77, and I mix it with their Inglot Duraline, which is kind of like a mixing medium that thins out the gel liner into more of a liquid.
Inglot is British, isn't it?
I believe so, but it's very easy to find because it's a pretty well-known brand. And what I do is I take a very, very sharp angled brush with a tiny bit of that gel liner, and I start at the outer corner, like where the tip of the liner would be, and bring it into the inner corner of my eye.
And how do you make sure that it matches, it's a sister and not a cousin to the other one?
When I do my creases, so I basically start where my crease ends. So when I draw out my crease, which I do first, I just make sure that they match in the mirror, and then as long as my creases match, I know that the liner will match.
And how long do you think it took you to perfect this?
Too long.
Okay, you have 10 minutes to do this challenge. On your mark, get set, go!
Great, 10 minutes. Okay, that means I gotta rush. So then I go ahead and I fill it all in. And for this, I'm not so gentle because I just need to slather the product in.
And this is still the liquid Inglot, right?
I do the entire eye with just a liquid or liquefied gel liner. My liner took me a couple months to figure out, but it wasn't the hardest part. When I first started doing drag, the easiest thing was brows, which I know a lot of people struggle with. Like, I could not figure out the science behind how you did a lip and how you did a nose contour. It just didn't compute, and that took me many months to figure out.
What is the effect you're going for with both the nose and the lips?
When you first start learning how to do drag makeup, everyone shows you how to do like cut and carved and lines and that's what I was trying to do. And I quickly found out that like a sharp, like Magnolia Crawford nose was like not the look for me. But that took a lot of time to figure out.
Who was your drag mother? Who did teach you?
YouTube was my drag mother, really. I never had anyone teach me how to do makeup. And I came from a theater background, so thankfully I had like some makeup skills under my belt. I just had done a lot of theater makeup and not like beauty makeup. Mm-hmm. But I had a basic understanding of how makeup worked, you know? So next, I actually go in with this like old liquid liner brush that's like 2 years old and has been empty for ages, but I love the brush on it. But any sort of lip brush or like really, really thin detail brush will work. And I'll just take a little bit on the tip, and this is what I'll use to dot the liner out. So I'll keep my eye open and just...
I love your mirror!
Oh, this is from the Dragula finale. It has an S on it, so it belonged to someone. It was like engraved for someone.
Super Vander!
Super Vander. So then once I have those dots in, I'll go in, and even with my eye open, I'll just... boom, and that's the line.
She's gorgeous. So tell me what life was like just before the coronavirus hit. What were you doing, and where were you traveling, and what was happening?
I was mostly just doing out-of-state gigs. Sasha Velour, season 9 winner. I'm a permanent cast member of her show Nightgowns in New York.
Oh, yeah.
And Quibi picked up a documentary miniseries based around that.
Yes, I saw that. How fantastic.
Yeah, and
was that when we were traveling in the UK that you guys decided to work together on that?
God, that was so fun. I forgot we totally toured the UK together. That was so much fun.
Yeah, that's when I saw you. That's when we last saw each other.
Oh God.
Where do you go that you get the best reaction, and where do you go where sometimes people are like, what?
You know, one of the places that to me always stuck out was actually Salt Lake City, because I went into Salt Lake City thinking, oh God, this gig is going to be horrendous. Like that just, you know, it's like Mormon capital USA. And I showed up with all these preconceived notions of what the show was going to be like. That show was queer as and I think what I've learned is that in a lot of the smaller towns is where you'll find the strongest queer scenes, because we've grown so accustomed to that in some of the bigger cities. We're just used to it, so we're not as excited, you know.
You really have to seek out your weirdness when you live in a small town, and you really get you're more appreciative of it.
So yeah, some of the smaller towns are some of the ones with the coolest crowds.
Are you done?
No, I just need the other. So I did the top half.
My inner clock says that you're out of time.
2 minutes early.
2 minutes early? Oh, do you have 2 minutes? Oh, go. You have 2 minutes.
So now I'm going to do the inner corner. And I also just do that I do the bulk of it with this angled brush.
And what's the first thing you're going to do when we all stop self-isolating? Where are you going to go? Who are you going to see?
Oh my God. I think I honestly might even want to just like travel a little bit, because first of all, like the financial panic kicks in, right? And then you're like, okay, like I'm going to survive somehow. So, you know, maybe this is like a cute little vacation moment just to like produce from home. But then after day 10, you're like, okay, something's got to give, you know?
I will never again in my life say, oh, if I just had a month to just lie in bed and recuperate and just write and have, I will never again just watch TV ever again.
Never. No, I completely feel you on that.
I love it.
So then I go in and I just do my waterline with a black pencil.
Oh, nice. Yes.
I think I got it all.
It's very sort of Nina Hagen, isn't it?
It is. And then sometimes I'll go in, like I notice my inner corner is much larger on the eye I just did. So I'll go in and just correct the other eye so that it looks even-ish.
Now we're starting with the actual countdown. I feel it in my bones. It is actually...
There we go.
You're done?
Done.
You're done!
Yeah, done. I just barely matched them up. There's like slight inconsistencies, but for the most part, I think they look okay.
That's pretty fantastic that you did that in 10 minutes. Now, I'm not going to let you go because there was another trick of the trade that you were going to tell me about, and that is I remember you put your wig on very far back.
Very far back.
And you did it on me. I kept thinking it's going to fall off. It's going to fall off. And it didn't fall off. So tell me what it is. Tell me your trick.
I just take a wig that's flipped inside out and I use it as a bump. So I've already marked off where I clean the makeup off my head. And I'll use a first piece of tape about right there. This is regular, like black duct tape.
Yeah, okay.
Nothing too crazy. Not no Gorilla Tape. I mean, you could use Gorilla Tape, but I probably wouldn't. That stuff's pretty strong. So I lay down like a base just for the tape that goes on afterwards to hold on to, and I take my hideous wig bump.
Right.
And I'll put that in place first with a single piece of tape on the front, and kind of tape that in place.
Oh, yeah.
Then I'll take a piece to the back, and that'll pull it forward.
It's sort of like a weird Renaissance painting or something, very medieval.
I can kind of see that. I can totally see that, actually. Sometimes it actually looks like a look by itself. And then I'll do one final piece at the back to give it one more push forward, like so.
That's really good. It's beautiful.
It's kind of a look by itself. I'll take a wig and I'll just throw it on top as so.
Yeah.
Usually I would pin all the way around to like really secure it to the tape.
So that you can thrash about on stage, yes.
Totally. Bald Ariana Grande, like high pony.
I love it. Okay, let's dance. Let's do this.
And now it's my turn.
So, Vander, tell me, what are you doing later?
Later today, I'm going to stay the home.